we're now into what we call the loin. You guys probably as hunters heard it used as back straps. This section right here that we cut off, if you remember, this is where the tenderloins, the inside tenderloins were. We've taken those out already. Same thing, you can see the backbone here. Now this is a piece of meat. The next two pieces of meat that we're going to be working on, you must be careful. Them two front shoulders, you can kind of dig around and not mess any meat up. But here's the trick to this. Right here, you can see the backbone right here. Once again, with the tip of the knife, follow that down. All the way down, you're going to feel it bottom out. Once you feel that, just go to the left just a little bit and go all the way down. What it is, it's a vertebrae that's sticking out. And you go all the way down and hug that as much as you can, because this is, like I say, this is good backstrap meat. You don't want to lose any. I mean, you don't want to lose any of your animal, but if you're going to lose any, lose it on that front shoulder as far as shooting or anything. If you hit an animal up in here, it's not a good situation. Shouldn't be hitting that high. Once again, the guys from Dead On did an absolutely great shot. No meat whatsoever, including neck, was messed up, shoulders, which during rifle season, you're going to see a lot of these shoulders messed up. But back to here, we're cutting meat. We followed that down. Then all we want to do is turn our knife and slice down. Continue to put pressure. You want to put pressure against that bone. You can actually see my knife bending. Put pressure on it and follow that bone down. These are what we call feather bones on the loin. And that you can tell because of this. They're just real thin bone. All you're going to do is the same thing on that. You can see the back bone here. Take the tip of your knife, follow straight down. And I went all the way down. Don't push a whole lot, because once you do hit that bone, you are going to dull your knife a little bit. Once again, come to the left just a little bit. Come straight down then. Same thing. Put your knife down, put pressure on them feather bones, and come down. As you can see, you got a clean piece of bone there. Not wasting any meat, which is the idea of when you're boning out your own deer. And let me say this too, if you decide not to do this yourself, whoever you do take it to, make sure they are meat cutters and not taking the thing on the saw and just hacking it up for you. Because that's another thing, people get a bad taste in their mouth, is that they say there's bone and all kinds of stuff in their meat. And the reason is, it's just not taking your time and processing the deer the proper way. What we want to do, you can see this here. We want to take every bit of the silver off and the sinew. What I do, I'm going to try to do this backwards so that the camera can see it. Normally, what I would do is take this like this and come here and put your knife flat on here and come across. But so the camera can see, I'm going to try to do it backwards here and hope it comes out. You want to come down to the bottom of that meat. Now see, when you're on here, you got the knife out here so you can press down easier. Come down, come across this meat all the way, and then you push down. If you push down and then come across, it's almost like filleting a fish. This comes right off, is what you want. Now you still have a little silver here that all you want to do is skin. Do not go deep. This is your your second tender piece of meat. Your first being your inner tenderloins, but just take the silver off. All I'm doing now is just barely just hitting it, just taking the silver off it. Now that's a piece of meat. Personally, that's the way I like it. I like to leave it whole like that. Put it in the oven, put your dry rubs on it. All I do really is sear it first, turn it down to about 300 till it's about medium rare, and then it's fantastic. I'm going to put this aside right now. If you want to cut in chops, I'm going to cut one in chops real quick for you. It was the same thing on the round steaks and the tip steaks. First slice, halfway through. Second, all the way through. So it's just halfway, all the way. Halfway, all the way. And then if you end up with that little piece left over, don't throw it in your grinds unless you don't like the kebabs. Set it aside for your kebabs. And then what we have is chops. And Anthony, I can't remember what you told me. This is your deer. I hope you wanted some chops, buddy. because we got some chops now. But beautiful either way. This or this way. Personally, it's just personal opinion. Still, you got your back straps. But what we get into now is you're starting up into the front shoulders of the deer. The back strap gets a little bit different. You can see we still have a little bit of neck meat here, which is absolutely great grinded meat, or the roast. We left it in roast on the first part of it. Same again, you can see the spinal cord right there, or you can see the backbone right there. All you want to do is stick your knife right in there and follow that down. Straight down. From here, all I do is turn my knife backwards, and you want to follow that straight up. Okay, you follow that straight up all the way down. As the same on the loin part of it, this is the rib section. All you want to do is turn your knife, push down, follow that bone. And just pull back with your hand as you're doing it. Then pull that out of there, and then you can see from there, that'll pull right out from the rest of the meat. This is the back strap still, but what this is getting closer into the rib section, which at the carpet, once again, that would be like your prime rib, your Delmonico. But what I do, as it gets down there, you can see that there's a seam in there. Once again, yeah, you're losing a little bit, but I'd like to take that seam out of there. You're not losing it as far as your animal, because we will grind this meat. But you can see, take that out of there. Then right here is a seam. All I do, you can see it from there. It runs all the way up through there to there. All I do, follow that right down and cut that off. Great grinded meat, nothing wrong with it. Now what I do is the same thing. This one's a little harder. I'm going to turn my back to you because, well, let me see. Same thing. Get your knife all the way through. Put pressure down. You can see my knife is through that whole back strap there. Kind of 45 your knife down and just follow that down, pulling. Once again, lost very little bit of meat, and really mostly what it is that sinew. You want that out of there. This I do not put into the grinds. There you have it. That is really the rib section of the loin that we're talking about. Rib steaks, Delmonicos from the market, that section is what that is. Once again, we could butterfly that or leave it whole. For right now, we're going to leave it whole. We're going to do the other side, which is the same way. You just flip the carcass around. Once again, you can see the backbone, tip of the knife, run it straight down. Once again, just put a little bit of pressure, and all you're doing is hitting your knife on the edge of that meat where the bone is, and it just comes out. Once again, you can see it's out of there. All you do now is just really pull that piece of meat out, and it pulls right out. I've often, and pretty much what's amazing to me, all these animals pretty much have the same seams in them and the same bone structure, basically. I've always told my brother, I think the good Lord did that because he knew us meat cutters weren't very bright, and we needed some kind of diagram to follow. So it's the same, you know, when you're doing your deer, follow a lot of the seams when you're seaming stuff out. It'll come out and you can clean it out. Right there's what you have is really, this is where the neck was. This is your back straps up to the loin section. The net loin section would have came out there.